Hi guys, so what we're going to discuss in just a couple of slides is the 4 different types of irony. And then over the next couple of days, we're going to be able to identify some of the irony in Cask of Amontillado and also The Most Dangerous Game. This might be a review for some of you because I know that when I asked about dramatic irony in class, some of you already had the answer, so that's okay if it's a review. It's just some extra practice. So there's 4 types of irony. The first one is dramatic. The second one is verbal, which also can be sarcasm in some cases. Situational, understatement, which is also a form of verbal irony. So the first one we'll discuss is dramatic irony. So it occurs when the readers know something that the characters, or at least one of the characters in the story, doesn't know. And dramatic irony can be created with foreshadowing. It can be created by the first person narrator talking about something that they plan to do that the other characters don't know or understand. But it also could be created in a lot of movies. It's created by the use of music, things along those lines, so that the audience knows something's about to happen, but some of the characters do not. So the examples that I have in a horror movie, suspense is created, so like that kind of edge of your seat feeling is created by music. The viewers know something that's about to happen, but the character does not because he or she cannot hear the music. So thinking about reaching for that basement door handle and that creepy music that's always playing in the background to add the suspense is a good example of dramatic irony. And also, in the Cask of Amontillado, which we all read together, Montresor tells the reader of his plans to kill Fortunato at the beginning of the story. We know the plan. We know that he's been insulted 1,000 times, but Fortunato does not. And he does not know the plan well enough for Montresor to actually go through with the plan and kill Fortunato. All right, so moving forward, we have verbal irony. So it's a difference or contradiction between what is exactly said and what is actually meant. So if you've ever been sarcastic before, you know that the difference or contradiction between what is said is basically you saying the opposite of what you mean for a joke or a laugh. So the example would be, "Mom, I just broke your favorite vase," and Mom responds, "Oh, great." There's some verbal irony. And then when your alarm goes off in the morning for school super early, saying like "awesome" or "I just can't wait for the day" would be verbal irony because of the fact that it's the opposite of what you mean. All right, so moving on, situational irony. This one can be a little bit tricky, but I want you to be thinking about some different examples as we talk about it. So I have 2 for you that we'll talk about. So when an event or situation is contrary or opposite to what is expected, the ironic event contradicts or goes against the expectations of the character. So there's some situational irony. So basically, when with what you completely expect to happen doesn't happen, or the opposite of what you expect to happen happens, we have some situational irony. So in The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy meets the challenges of the wizard, but then at the end of the story or the movie, she finds out that she had the power to go home all along. Okay, so it's not what she had expected, not what we had expected. And then an expert or a teacher of the topic fails a test about the same topic they teach, or your English teacher spells something wrong on the board. You would expect them to be perfect spellers or perfect writers, but yet it would be ironic if they weren't in a moment. And then the last one we'll talk about is understatement, which is a form of verbal irony, and it's often used for a humorous effect. So it's when something is severely downplayed or overplayed to promote humor and sarcasm. So an example is just saying, "Oh, it's just a scratch," when you put a huge dent in your parents' car, right? Or saying something like, "I just barely made it out with my life," after being like yelped at or barked at by like a newly adopted Labrador Retriever puppy, right? So it's an understatement. It causes people to laugh. And it would be understatement. So those are the 4 types of irony that we'll discuss in class. We'll also try to see if we can apply these to some of the stories we've been reading together. All right.